The trial in Johnny Depp's defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard has drawn to a close, with a civil jury handing an overwhelming victory to Johnny Depp. Depp sued Heard in March 2019, alleging a column Heard wrote in the Washington Post about domestic violence was defamatory, and asking for $50 million in damages. Heard filed a $100 million countersuit. After a 6-week trial in Fairfax, Virginia, the jury returned a verdict on June 1 after deliberating for around 2.5 days. Here is a timeline of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's relationship, separation, and court battles. From when they are said to have started dating to the latest trial, 2012, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard start dating. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are believed to have started dating that year, after Depp split from his longtime partner, French actor Vanessa Paradis. Depp and Paradis have 2 children, a daughter named Lily Rose and a son named Jack. Heard and Depp are believed to have met on the set of the 2011 film The Rum Diary, in which they both starred. March 2014, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard get engaged. Johnny Depp confirms that he and Amber Heard are engaged, after a couple of months of speculation. "The fact that I'm wearing a chick's ring on my finger is probably a dead giveaway," he says while promoting the film Transcendence. Not very subtle. February 2015, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard get married. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp marry. According to People magazine, they had 2 ceremonies, the first at Depp's home in Los Angeles, and the second at Depp's private island in the Bahamas, May 2016. Amber Heard files for divorce. Amber Heard files for divorce from Johnny Depp, citing irreconcilable differences. That same month, a judge grants Heard a restraining order against Depp over allegations of domestic violence on his part. In a sworn declaration, Heard alleges that Depp threw a cell phone at Heard during a fight, which struck her in the eye and the cheek, and that he screamed at her, hit her, violently grabbed her face, and pulled her hair. According to the Associated Press, she submits to the court a photo of her bruised face when requesting the restraining order. Heard is seen with a bruise on her right cheek below the eye, per the AP, during a court appearance. "During the entirety of our relationship, Johnny has been verbally and physically abusive to me," Heard writes in the filing. "I endured excessive emotional, verbal and physical abuse from Johnny, which has included angry, hostile, humiliating and threatening assaults to me whenever I questioned his authority or disagreed with him." She also writes, "I live in fear that Johnny will return to unannounced to terrorize me, physically and emotionally." Depp has denied the allegations of domestic abuse. His lawyers alleged in a court document in 2016 that Heard was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse. The LAPD said in May 2016 that police officers who responded to a domestic incident radio call on the 21st of that month found no evidence of any crime. Heard's legal team has since subpoenaed the LAPD in connection to that same call as part of the ongoing defamation court case opposing Heard and Depp. August 2016. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard settle their divorce after months of contentious proceedings. Depp and Heard reach a settlement in their divorce. "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love," the pair say in a joint statement at the time. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. Heard pledges to donate the $7 million from Depp to the American Civil Liberties Union and the Children's Hospital Los Angeles. January 2017, the divorce is official. Depp and Heard formally finalize their divorce. "We are all pleased to put this unpleasant chapter in Mr. Depp and his family's lives behind them," Depp's attorney Laura Wasser writes in a statement. Having his request for entry of the dissolution judgment granted today made it a particularly lucky Friday the 13th. Heard's lawyer tells Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Carl H. Moore that his client would be very happy to move on with her life. June 2018, Johnny Depp sues over the Sun headline. On June 1, 2018, Depp sues News Group Newspapers, the company that publishes The Sun, for alleged libel over an article published in the tabloid newspaper in April of that year, with the headline, "Gone Potty, How Can J.K. Rowling Be Genuinely Happy, Casting Wife-Beater Johnny Depp in the New Fantastic Beasts Film?" Depp would eventually lose the case. December 2018, Amber Heard publishes an op-ed. On December 18, 2018, Amber Heard publishes an op-ed in the Washington Post titled, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In it, she writes in part, "Like many women, I had been harassed and sexually assaulted by the time I was of college age. But I kept quiet. I did not expect filing complaints to bring justice. And I didn't see myself as a victim. Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out." Depp isn't mentioned by name in the op-ed. The op-ed would later become the basis of the $50 million defamation lawsuit filed by Depp naming Heard as a defendant. March 2019, Johnny Depp sues Amber Heard. Depp files a $50 million lawsuit against Heard, alleging she defamed him in her Washington Post op-ed. The op-ed depended on the central premise that Ms. Heard was a domestic abuse victim and that Mr. Depp perpetrated domestic violence against her. The complaint alleges in part, calling the claim of domestic abuse categorically and demonstrably false. July 2020, Johnny Depp's lawsuit against The Sun goes to trial. The trial opens on July 7, 2020 in London. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard both arrive at the High Court of Justice, with Heard scheduled to testify in support of The Sun. Depp's lawyers argue he is seeking vindication, not money, and Depp himself denies the allegations of domestic abuse. A spokesperson for Heard tells Vanity Fair Heard never asked for these proceedings to take place, and has tried to move on with her life. The trial lasts for 3 weeks, with explosive allegations emerging as part of the evidence and testimony. The proceedings wrap up at the end of July. August 2020. Amber Heard countersues. Heard files a $100 million countersuit against Depp in response to his libel lawsuit, accusing him of allegedly orchestrating a smear campaign against her and describing his own lawsuit as a continuation of abuse and harassment. In the filing, Heard asks the court to grant her immunity from Depp's complaint and asks for compensatory damages of not more than $100 million, specifying this is twice the amount Mr. Depp asserted against Ms. Heard. November 2020. Johnny Depp loses his libel battle against The Sun. The court rules in favor of The Sun in the libel lawsuit. Justice Andrew Niccol said the defendants proved that their allegations against Depp were substantially true, the Associated Press reports at the time. "I have found that the great majority of alleged assaults of Ms. Heard by Mr. Depp have been proved to the civil standard," the judge writes in a ruling. An attorney for Depp calls the judgment so flawed that it would be ridiculous for Mr. Depp not to appeal this decision. March 2021. Johnny Depp is denied permission to appeal loss in The Sun case. 2 Court of Appeal judges find against granting Depp permission to appeal the judge's decision in his libel suit against The Sun. Justices James Dingemans and Nicholas Underhill ruled that the original hearing was full and fair, and the judge's rulings have not been shown even arguably to be vitiated by any error of approach or mistake of law. Dingemans and Underhill found that the appeal has no real prospect of success and that there is no other compelling reason for it to be heard. It is clear from a reading of the judgment as a whole that the judge based his conclusions on each of the incidents on his extremely detailed review of the evidence specific to each incident, they said. In an approach of that kind, there was little need or room for the judge to give weight to any general assessment of Ms. Heard's credibility. April 11, 2022. Defamation case goes to trial in Virginia. The trial in Depp's defamation case against Heard began on April 11, 2022 in Fairfax, Virginia. Depp suffered a significant setback before the trial began when the judge in the case, Virginia Judge Penny Ascaritt, found that Heard could argue that her op-ed deals with a matter of public interest. Depp's legal team had tried to argue that Heard shouldn't be able to rely on Virginia's anti-SLAPP legislation. Anti-SLAPP laws, which stand for Anti-Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation, are designed to protect people from being sued when they speak out on matters of public interest. Judge Ascaritt ruled that Heard could, in fact, invoke Virginia's anti-SLAPP legislation in her defense and argue to the jury that it should apply to her op-ed. 1 June 2022, Depp prevails in U.S. defamation trial.